All right, shalom everyone. It's your girl Sophia, the American Khan Mariam, and we're going to talk a little bit about this negative green band frequency, what I'm calling the brown band frequency, and even on this picture, the negative green band they have it as gray, but they don't have brown on here. Like, anyway, I'm sorry. Let me just stay on the topic. Um, I just wanted. I'll link to this video. The video is like an hour and some change long. It's a very very long video. I haven't gotten through all of it. I kind of got stopped here and on another topic and that I've been researching. But I wanted to share this information with you so that you can understand exactly what we're doing. What we're doing is when we pray, when we use our pendulum for energy, we are directing energy in a certain place. Now, it is my belief that with all these solar flares and the Schumann resonance and all of that, that we have been granted access to the brown frequency. That is what we have been receiving. We've been having our brown frequency charged up. Okay, that's just what I believe. You can agree or disagree. I'm just trying to explain this to you all so you can to know where I'm coming from. So if we have had our brown frequency charged up, what does that mean, and how do we use that frequency? So I'm just going to read through this flyer and I'll or this slide and I'll talk a little bit about it. So on a physical level, you can conduct energy within and between physical body systems, organs, glands, and energy meridians. You can clear blockages. You can shift and open stuck bodily functions, which may stop the progression of chronic conditions. You can also balance and center problems between unbalanced polarities in bodily systems. So that means kind of like if you have an overactive bladder, or if you have a overactive thyroid or something like that. That's what you use this brown frequency for. On an energetic level, carrier waves send energy and information both within and between all energy systems and all plane levels. Basically, that means that this brown frequency can go from the top to the bottom. It goes through all dimensions, all frequencies, all waves. It can penetrate through all of them. Okay, it's present in every energy center and all energy conduction lines, meridians or grids in living beings and in the earth itself. The brown frequency is the ley line. Okay, it is the ley line. It's the ley lines, it's the meridian lines, it's the Mary Magdalene lines. It's this brown energy frequency. That is what is made of. Which is why I can go through every level and between all energy systems and planes, because it is literally what these ley lines and these Mary Magdalene lines and the St. Michael lines are made of. Okay. The vibrational band behind core life energy. It is the vibrational band behind core life energy, including sexual energy and tantric practices. Also, the esoteric source of Kundalini energy, which has higher spiritual bases than ordinary life, i.e., prana. So, brown energy is what prana. It's the core of prana. It's the core of the vibrational band of energy. It's what ties it in. Okay, and the last one, general preventive of subtle energy problems, meaning it keeps energy moving in the system so that basically, for example, if a spiritual attack comes to you, it can't stop, and sit and be with you forever. It has to keep moving. All right. On an emotional or mental level, it is the conduction of emotional and mental energy. This is what the energy does. It breaks down resistance on the emotional and mental levels, creates inner psychological openings to shifts within one's life. It brings subconscious blockages into awareness to be cleared and may lead to short term psychological reactions as the blockages arise and break up. Listen to that. It brings subconscious blockages into awareness to be cleared, meaning, so like all of the readers who are now all of a sudden, airing all these people's dirty laundry, I've been working with this green frequency for, I mean, it's been happening before that, but that's the frequency they're working it with. When you do the tarot, when you use the tarot cards like that to discuss what's going on with people, you're utilizing that brown energy, which is why readers always say, I don't need the cards, because they're working with the energy. And the energy that's coming up is as a result of their heightened connection to the brown frequency. Because anybody who does tarot on a regular basis, it's if it takes you an hour to ask a question and get an answer and interpret, that's an hour of prayer, son. Like, anyway, we'll get to that in the next thing, but this is why they don't want people doing that kind of stuff, because you spend all your time focused on trying to interpret the message. That's all prayer time, that's all deep meditation time, and that is what enhances this brown frequency, which we'll get to in the next one. Okay, emotional aspect of sexual energy. It integrates dynamic energy in the body and the energy field into emotional and mental experiences. This is related to the observations of that guy regarding Orgon, which I won't say his name, and how sexual energy affects psychological purposes. So this is the energy that's used in these different kind of sex magics and tantras and all of that. This is the energetic force behind it. Also, when you use it for yourself, for self-healing or whatever. All right, on a spiritual level, the conduction of energy from higher levels and into and out of the physical body. So basically, this brown energy is how you connect with your higher self. Okay, this is the physical science behind you being able to connect with your higher self. Not just your higher self, the saints, the orishas or the oris or whoever, the deities, the entities. It's this high, this brown frequency. And so, you know, for example, like we used to work a lot with Diana, right? But we are on a higher frequency. So I don't work with Diana too much anymore. Not that I don't love Diana, because I do, but I don't work with her too much anymore because I'm on a higher frequency of energy. And so she's not the one who operates in that frequency of energy. So, for example, when people do their magic or their witchcraft, let's use the term witchcraft in this case. When they do witchcraft, their Baal worship, they're only allowed access to a certain frequency, and so they have to use the entities that are located within that frequency. So let's say that you are African and you deal with the Orishas, right? You have access to those Orishas because that is what is given, that is what by energetic signature you have access to. So this is the reason why people, I don't know if this is how it works, but I'm just based on the readings I've been listening to, I'm assuming that this is why the people who are higher ranked in those things, they don't want you to also be high ranked, because then you can deal with entities and deities that they can't, because you have access to a wider frequency band of the brown energy, a higher level of the brown energy than they do, and then you immediately outrank them because you are dealing with entities that are higher than them. So this is like it's the same thing in church. If you go to a church and you're questioning the pastor has no idea what you're talking about, you outrank the pastor. And then people are very uncomfortable with that. I don't care about rank. It's not about rank. Let's just get the solutions regardless of the rank. But a lot of people, especially men, are intimidated by being outranked. A lot of women are intimidated by being outranked too. So when they see that you have a higher rank than them, then they start to, go crazy. But this is why. It's because you can conduct the energy from higher levels into and out of the physical body. And they may not have access to that particular ability. That would be the healing. I kind of got off topic with that other part. But this would be how these healings and stuff were done. How these miracles, quote unquote, were done using this brown frequency band. Okay. The more spiritual activity a person does, blessing, prayer, meditation, i.e., any action which links a person in resonance to higher spiritual level. The stronger intensity of the horizontal wave of the negative G or the brown is created in their energy field. Let's talk about that for a few minutes. I made a video the other day and I was explaining to people that you use church to tune into a particular frequency band. Church is designed to emit a certain frequency, and what you use it for is to tune into that frequency. This is proof that what I was saying is true. This is the this is the what do you call it? The scientific proof that what I'm saying is true. The more you go to church and get onto that higher frequency band is better. Now if you go to church and you get on a low frequency band, of course that's a whole different thing. We're not talking about that. This is an individual thing. This energy is not something that I can share it with you. You know, I can't, you know, I would not share, just be like, okay, I'm gonna give you act. No, you got to build, just like any muscle, you got to build up this energy frequency band on your own, and it's not that difficult to do. This is just, it's what actually needs to be done. So but again, at the point, the more prayer you do, the more meditation, the more blessing, the more, you know, being in that high frequency, the high the more time you spend in the brown frequency, the stronger it gets. So like for our fast, I'm telling everybody to pray 3 times. I'm going to pray 3 times a day, right? And we're engaging in the 3-6-9 prayer. And so what that is my day is now broke up into parts where I have dedicated time set aside to pray. That is what's going to intensify my connection with this brown energy band. And so this is how the saints and, you know, the martyrs, all these, this is how they did it. Their prayer, just their act of prayer, not just them, the yogis and the in the Hindu pantheon, all the the karate, tai chi pantheon, all of these different things. This is how they are doing what they can do. They're increasing their access to this brown frequency band through their activity, which is enabling them to become even stronger spiritually. And we can do this too if you understand how to do it. So if you don't know what that frequency feels like, you would go into a church. That feeling that you get in church, you want to try to replicate that feeling when you do your prayers at home. And that's why I like Orthodox again, because they use music, but not music with instruments, because everybody can't play an instrument, but everybody can open their mouth and make their words sound melodic. And that's what that is. You use the melody, the melodic sounds that are actually coming out of your mouth to raise your frequency, which is why when you listen to music, your frequency raises up, which is why I always play go-go in my music, in my videos. Why? Because I know it emits a certain frequency. I didn't know this. I just found this out like a week ago. And I didn't even read this slide until yesterday, because I was like, yeah, what does that frequency band do? I screenshot it, but I didn't read it. I just read it yesterday and it explains everything. My entire actions, everything makes sense. So that is to say that, you know, music does raise your frequency. You know, when you have a song that you love, especially an old song, instrumental that you love, and it raises your frequency. And then you can match that frequency. Like I have songs that I like that are like hip hop songs or whatever. When I go to the gym, I listen to those. Why? Because I want my frequency to be really high while I'm exercising so that I can make the most of my exercise. That is how this process works. It's not woo woo. You know, if people want to make it woo woo, and I'm telling you, it is not. It is scientific. It can be tracked. It can be traced. And this brown frequency is basically, now you're not going to find, if you go and look online about the negative green, you trying to do some research, you're not going to find it, because this guy, Dr. Gilbert, is gatekeeping it. Personally, he is. So I'm going to take his little class and see if I can make it more obvious to people. But you're not going to find much about this. This is something that they have heavily gate kept, you know, which is wrong. They're not supposed to be gatekeeping this stuff. And by teaching it to these little classes to these white people. That's not what you're supposed to do. And then they say, oh, well, it's open to everybody. Well, how would anybody find out about this? So the internet has done us a great favor by exposing these little, gatekeepers or whatever. I don't like that type of stuff, but that's where we are. So I do, want to say that you basically going to have to get the information from him because it's not being shared anywhere else. And that's unfortunate because we're gonna have to get access to that information. And you know me, I will get access to it. But I just wanted to share this with you about why your prayers work. Why when I got started, I was praying 5 times a day. I did 5 Psalms a day. I mean, just reading the Psalms, that's a prayer. I was doing and I read them. I always read them out loud. I was praying 5 times a day. Then I took it down to 3. I was like, sometimes I was praying like more than that because if I did an extra video, I always did a psalm, whatever with my videos. And so I was spending most of my day in deep, you know, actual prayer. You know what I mean? And so when you're able to, I don't know if the word is, manage your direct, when you're able to direct your energy so that you can always stay in this meditation state or this prayer state or this blessing state, when you're able to direct your energy like that, and music would be a great way to do it. I listen to the Byzantine chants at night, really love them. During the day, if you have like just some general meditation music like floating on out there, just giving your house that zen like feeling, all of that is staying in a meditative state so that your stuff can be, you can heighten your access to the brown frequency. And the brown frequency is what you use to go like on the physical level to conduct energy within and between physical body systems. So when you're trying to manifest, you got to have extremely high brown energy. This is why your manifestations ain't working. Not only are we not forming our phrases right by connecting the I with the I am, like I showed in my other video, our brown frequency is not high enough. And so you got to really work to get it up there so that you can manifest what you want. And I will tell you something. I am manifesting now faster than I've ever manifested. I've always been able to manifest things, right? I'm not going to be like, oh, I could never manifest. No, that would be a lie. I've always been able to manifest things, but it wasn't fast. It was usually like, I had to, go into practically a comatose state to be able to manifest something quickly. And really now I'm like directing my energy to go through the systems and bring me what I want and do it right away. And poof, the stuff is showing up. And so I can tell you that this not only has this been working for me, it does work. Now, like the other video I made, you do want to protect yourself because once people figure out that you personally are able to do these things, they're going to be trying to tap into your energy field. And I think that's another reason why I am able to manifest, because I have my energy shielded. These people can't get into my energy and take what I'm manifesting. And so this is why I said in the other video, you definitely want to get this ring so that you can have access to this manifestation. The Most High and the angels, the saints, they're not going to give you access to this manifestation if you are not protected, because they know that you are tagged and that these people from these different energy frequencies can come right in and take what you're manifesting. So you have to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself. You have to block this out. And remember, this ring blocks out the brown frequency. The brown frequency coming from someone else cannot penetrate into this. And it is my belief that if people are using this technology to try to keep us from having access to it, it's been broke down, meaning we can penetrate into where we need to go regardless of whether they have this protection or not, because the Most High is the creator of all things. And if he says, nah, it doesn't work for them, then it won't work for them. So if people think, oh, I'm going to keep them from getting into my energy, governments, I'm looking at you because X, Y, and Z. Nah, it's not like that. We are the rulers of this planet, and therefore we will have access to whatever we need to. and you cannot say, I'm going to use this technology against them. That's what that whole Atlantean, explosion or whatever was about. These people having these devices all over Atlantis, to protect them from being attacked, they stupidly sent out an attack to someone else who also was using this symbol to protect them, or a different symbol, because I'm sure there's more than one symbol. This one is just the one that we found now, so we're using it. So don't be surprised if I tell you, oh, wait, there's another symbol that does this. It's blah, 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 blah. Because I fully anticipate that based on what is coming in right now. So if these people in Atlantis build a plasma bomb to send to someone else, when they send that plasma bomb to them, it bounced off of them and came right back to them, because you can only be destroyed from within. No one from the outside of you can destroy you, but you can be destroyed from within. So Atlantis was destroyed from within because people didn't understand that this technology was being used to protect them. And they sent out this weapon where you're not supposed to use this for fighting. That's not going to be allowed. If someone attacks you, that's different. But you're not supposed to use this to go out and hurt somebody. If you use it like that, it's going to come right back to you. And it's going to come directly back to you because it knows where the energy came from. Energy is smart. That's why my pendulum is a smart pendulum. Energy is smart. It's not stupid. It's not stupid at all. So anyway, I hope this makes sense. I hope you all understand that. I will link to the video so that you all can watch it. And we'll see you again in the next video. Shalom.